The Venom movie is out now, so I thought I would review this awful Venom comic. It's called Venom, Carnage Unleashed, and it is written by Larry Hama. Now, Larry Hama is a writer. He has done writings and people liked him until about a year ago, when he did a heel-faced turn and he started joining in with calling any customers and fans Nazis and bigots and stuff like that. And this is going to be a quick video because if I go too into this book, it will annoy me. The thing is, this book is trying to be a satire, except that it's neither funny nor smart enough to get away with it. The idea is that Carnage has sold his rights to be made into a video game, and the whole thing is about how video games are violent and how violence is everywhere. It's even in our breakfast cereals, but it is done with zero wit. Like the video game company that made the game, the video game company, it is just called Extreme Violence. There's nothing funny or clever about that name. It only shows that they flat out cannot do the satire. But they're still trying to do a fucking satire. And I fucking hate rubbish like this. They always do it with the dead, reprehensible villains. Like the Joker and Carnage. They have him in prison or an asylum. But like they give them privileges which they don't deserve. Carnage is a fucking remorseless serial killer. And they're allowing him to play the video game he's in. But also, the idea that he is playing a video game where he is playing himself committing the murders as the objective, like, this is completely detrimental to the idea that they're meant to be treating him for mental illness. Like, the problem is that Carnage has no empathy and he thinks that killing is fun. So why are they letting him play a game which only helps support that belief? It's fucking mental, this. Like, the story isn't just tone deaf when it comes to the satire. Everything about it is just dire. And like, this is meant to be during one of his therapy sessions. Like, Jesus, this is fucking stupid. And the therapist, of course, is dressed in the usual therapist wardrobe of a two-piece nightie. And here is the reason I will not be reviewing this whole comic. This annoying cunt. We have got the alternative punk rock 90s chick. And she is insufferable. I think she is meant to be like the heart of the story. And I'll tell you what. If she is the heart of this story, then the story has a congenital heart defect. She spends most of it singing her shite little songs. And this is another thing. This never works in comics when you have characters singing songs or you write original songs, because people don't know how it goes. They don't know the melody. They don't know the tempo, stuff like that. But also the lyrics here, they are fucking atrocious. Like, it's again probably meant to be a satire of grunge, but it is fucking awful. Just have a look at them here. Apathy and resignation and agony and desecration might as well get run down by a truck. Those are not lyrics. That is like shit poetry that an idiot writes, aged 11 in English class. And she's such a fucking cunt. She is on a bus, a public bus, and she is forcing all the other passengers to endure this rubbish. Yeah, she has headphones in, but that is just for the guitar. That's just for the electric guitar. They can still hear her singing away and the sound of her playing. She's horrible. She thinks she is wise to the world because she is cynical and has dyed her hair. And when Venom tells her to shut up, she is still like trying to rebel. And it's like, I can do anything I want. I really, really hate this woman. How I said that. she is proper deluded too. Like, you'll see here. Like, she's like, I'm going to make music that makes a difference. Like, just go back to this a second. Agony and resignation, apathy and resignation, agony and desecration might as well get run down by a truck. Yeah, that's going to make a fucking difference, isn't it? Apparently, in Larry Hammer's mind, what we were all waiting for was an annoying, entitled brat to show up and piss and moan about things. I know this is a fictional character, and she is fictional, and she is not real, but I hate her. I actually hate her. Alright, some more rubbish up here. I'm going to write songs that speak out to young people just like me, and finally make them sit up and listen. She's like so far up her own arse, she thinks that young people want to listen to her. And she is like a champion of the young people, and that they've never heard something like that before. This comic came out in 1995. Like, by that point, Kurt Cobain was already dead. There was Green Day, the Smashing Pumpkins, Oasis, the Pixies, Fugazi, Pearl Jam, Sonic Youth, Jane's Addiction, Soundgarden, The Offspring. Like, they'd all fucking already done the whole speaking to young people thing. And before that, there was shite like Guns N' Roses that spoke to the young people. Then we see the evil video game company, of course, is run by an evil corporate white man who only cares about profits and not about people. And here we have some more of this insufferable woman. She's singing some more, the sun's coming up like a big ball of yellow. It's warming my elbows, improving my mellow. Yeah, that great lyricism is going to speak to young people and finally make them sit up and listen. And then she just starts preaching their stupid I'm so wise philosophy. And the annoying thing is, right, this terrible piece of shit, she doesn't die at the end. And another thing that I hate, right, about this comic, right, this was 1995, and it's written by someone who has clearly never touched a computer before. It is full of rubbish 90s computer jargon strung together that makes no sense, and it's like full of all the cyber fear that was probably seen as embarrassing like a month later, let alone 23 years later. You see, Carnage is using the CPU modem to Ethernet his ROM data disk to... Basically, he uses the internet to go into a computer and come out of other people's computer. Yeah, that's how bad this is. The writer couldn't understand the concept of the internet. He thought that it was just all computers being connected at once to each other, and that it works in a manner that Carnage can send himself through people's computers and come out and kill them as fast as you can blink. I fucking hate this comic. I'm not going to finish it. I hate everything about it. But there is one other bit though near at the end. Where is it? Right near the end, what happens is Carnage and his therapist and Venom, they all go to the evil video game company. The white male CEO is obviously all greedy and officious, and he's all like, oh, think about the publicity, think about the sales. He wants to like milk this for promotion for the video game because he's going on a spree. And then what happens though is, right, when all this is going on, when all this action's going on, right, his assistant and Carnage's therapist, right, they're just not interested in it, and they're just like, they're going on about having some brandy, and the therapist is impressed by the assistant's lighter. Like, this is obviously meant to be saying something about how desensitized we are to violence. But it is also pretty sexist that put two women in a room and they're automatically best friends. But also, this whole shite, it makes no sense because here they're clearly showing that they don't give a fuck about what's going on. But then, the very next page, despite what we just saw on the page before, now they are trying to fight back. Naturally, the assistant gets to clock the white male CEO because men are evil. And then the day is eventually saved, not by Venom, but because the two women who are now best friends, they set Carnage on fire. This is liquid shit, this comic. I'll tell you what, I really want to destroy it, but I feel that the anger I'd use would only validate the stupid statements about violence and anger in our society that this comic is trying to talk about. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to very politely and professionally cut it up with some scissors while listening to some Rachmaninoff and only offering words of praise towards Larry Hama. Larry Hama, you have been in the industry for nearly 50 years. Well done. Some people really like your Wolverine run. Not so much the bit when you made him lose his nose, but they like your Wolverine run. It's too thick. Not so much when it's like this. You did that G.I. Joe comic where there wasn't any words, but you probably still got paid for a full script. That was good. You created Rage, probably the most popular character in all of Marvel's comics. You were in the military for 3 years. Well done on still milking that experience over 40 years later. I thought it was very brave how you tossed people like Diversity and Comics under the bus and opposed Comic Gates just so you can fit in with the clique who will never buy your work anyway. Well done on your legacy, Larry Hama. You had a good legacy. People were even willing to overlook fucking garbage like this. But they were just happy to just remember the good things. But you tossed that all away to throw in with an actual harassment campaign that hates customers, the industry and the whole medium. I think that will do. I rate this comic 7 thumbs up.